different color greens, golden yellows. The fall's my favorite time of year. Flaming leaves of red, fireweeds of crimson, September in the last frontier. At night in the sky, as far as the eye can see, the northern lights are a dancing. And you in my arms. Morning skies of blue on the road to McCarthy. The trumpeter swans swim near. Coolness of the breeze, soft and mellow. September in the last frontier. There in the pass, the snow-capped mountain peaks give pause that winter is nearing. With you by my side, now is the moment. Now we are here. Now is the hour. It's my time of year. And here on the lake, reflections of hillside and clouds. Silence is all we are hearing. And you on my mind, fragrance fills the air. Sunsets a burning, September in the last frontier. And you in my arms, September in the last frontier. am an old man of the sea. Won't you sit and talk to me? Well, I've sailed the world over on a four-leaf clover that was grown by a juniper tree. I am an old man of the sea. Won't you share my memories? Well, I was whaling off the coast of Australia back in 1913. I was a young painter then, soon to become a man. The day I killed my first Baleen, Lord, the very day I killed my first Baleen. In the middle of a howler in June, the whale we sighted just about noon. 10 hours more and we had her on the floor, hanging off the end of my harpoon. Lord, she was hanging off the end of my harpoon. I am an old man of the sea. Won't you sit and talk to me? Well, I've sailed the world over on a four-leaf clover that was grown by a juniper tree. I am an old man of the sea. Won't you share my memories? Nearly all of my life I've been a woodsman, taking many critters by surprise. Living off my poke, keeping the fire stoked was the only way I knew to stay alive, Lord, the only way I knew to stay alive. Well, summers I'd be chasing king salmon, winters found me trapping in the snow. When I was in my prime, there was no finer time. I could spot an eagle flying high or low. I am an old man of the sea. Won't you sit and talk to me? Well, I've sailed the world over on a four-leaf clover that was grown by a juniper tree. I am an old man of the sea. Won't you share my memories? But my last boat was the also the only home that I'll ever know. We caught fish aplenty, we took one trip too many. I left her at the bottom in a quiet little hole. And as one more season slips away, looks like one more night turning into day. The weather's getting stormy, I'll tell another story. Have one more glass of wine and then I'll be on my way. I am an old man of the sea. Won't you sit and talk to me? Well, I've sailed the world over on a four-leaf clover that was grown by a juniper tree. I am an old man of the sea. Won't you share my memories? I am an old man of the sea, ever nearer my thought to thee.
They do traffic enforcement. They make DWI arrests. The biggest benefit we have with the program is the ability to meet people.
Petersburg was the first place in the state of Alaska that processed shrimp. Petersburg shrimp is still advertised all over the state and even in the Northwest.
We're trying to just show our stuff and get it out to the people and show them what we got. We got a lot of talent.
Alaska art is on display throughout our southeast communities. With just a little bit of effort and a few steps, it's possible to see the end result of the artistic process. Hello, I'm Scott Foster, and welcome again to Rain Country. And this week we offer a varied view of Southeast Alaska lifestyles. We begin in Ketchikan with a man who's organized a gathering that makes it easier for those with artistic talent to show and sell the art they've created.
My stuff sells, but it's tough to get a store that will carry it when they can get, like I said, stuff cheaper. When you can get stuff mass produced, what are you going to do? I thought that if we get some artists together and we'll see what kind of show we can come out with to show the people what the totems and the carvings and these talented people got. And my goal was to gather some people together and put on a small show, and it started growing from there.
Mather held his first annual all-native art show in the spring of 1993. The response encouraged him to organize this show 5 months later. The participants included dance groups, professional artists, and those who just like creating.
It's something I've always wanted to do. It's just a hobby, and it's gotten a little bigger, so it's not a serious income. I just like doing it. These are wall hanging blankets. I thought they would be a nice idea because everybody would like to hang a blanket on the wall, but they're just too big. So I figured maybe these, everybody liked the idea of these. I just really enjoy doing this, and I hope he keeps having these little fairs, these art shows.
It's something that my mom beads as well in Sitka, and my grandmother beaded as well. As far as I can figure, I'm a fourth generation beader, and I wanted to carry that tradition on.
This interest in beading spread to the rest of the Sam family. It provides them with a quiet, relaxing time together. Eventually, it may turn into a serious business venture.
We're having a terrible time keeping up with the supply of our earrings that we do. We guarantee our work, and we put a lot of quality into it.
Like this one right here, this one I developed or designed. Took me about a couple weeks to come up with the idea, and about 9 months or so to find the right bead to use to make it look good.
In fact, he's taught us to do some certain designs which sold yesterday, but he taught us how, well, here's a little sample right here. This is a heart, and we developed this into a necklace, and Henry did this first, and he taught Vivian and I to do it.
Furs are often part of native regalia. The products made from sea otter pelts must meet certain legal guidelines, and only Alaska natives are allowed to hunt the animal.
I've been hunting and trapping most of my life. I get a great pride out of it. I'm the only one out there. It's against me and them. Who thinks better? I only got one shot.
Where do you at?
You can sell them to natives in the raw, but you can't sell them in the raw to non-natives. You have to make something out of the hide before you sell anything. The bags, they can't be machine made. They have to be hand sewn. Can't really have liners. Can't have zippers on them.
It's like I do a lot of different things. I do silver engraving. I do gold. I do work a lot with gold casting, gloss wax casting. I feel like I am a contemporary artist, and I mix new with the old. And like I was showing you in my jewelry, this is not an old style, but yet this part is. Put it on to there, you have your charm bracelet. I make pins that deal with today. I have issues of everybody goes black and white. Well, there's your peace and love and your kissing bears. I believe in all people as one. In the story of the raven, he steals the sun, the moon, and the stars from a bentwood box from an old man who is keeping him in the box. He breaks in through his house, through his chimney. And see, the raven, the story there, it's another story there because the raven was white. And when he went through the chimney, he got the soot all over him. And that's how your raven became black. And then we came up with, in my story here, he steals the moon and he puts the moon into the sky. And that's where you get your night. And then in the day, he put in the sun. Well, at night, you also have your stars. So there's your raven, your moon, and your stars.
This is really nice.
He was the one that got into blueberries and huckleberries, see?
Yeah.
This is my 4th mask ever, and it's a story about, it took me a year and a half to make him, and he's called the Old Majestic Bear. Now, the Old Majestic Bear went up to the mountains because he was too old to get his own fish, and so he went up to the mountains and got into some blueberries and huckleberries, and when he went down to lap up some of that fresh water, he seen his shadow, and he started lapping up that water, and when he seen his shadow, he said, he's seen that he was covered with the blueberries and the huckleberry feast. So he's made out of alder. He took me a whole year and a half. And to me, it's a big challenge because mostly men do these kind of things. And to me, it's a big challenge. And my next challenge is to do someday a house coat.
In addition to carving, Kathy Cato Yates also works in other media. Although she considers herself to be a contemporary artist, at some time in the future her work may be considered traditional.
When the Europeans and the Russians came, of course they brought their contemporary items, like your wools and your buttons and your beads. Now they are considered tradition. And in time, my contemporary things will be considered tradition.
The all-native art show may also become a tradition. Mather is already planning for future shows and is working to meet the needs of these Native Alaskan artists.
There's a need for these people to have a building, and right now we're just using, like I said, a gymnasium or a club or something. We're trying to just show our stuff and get it out to the people and show them what we got. We got a lot of talent. There's a really lot of good talent, and these people are all excited about coming to something like this.
There are shrimp throughout Southeast, but since the early 1900s, the waters around Petersburg have been the mother lode for this shellfish. Today, Petersburg shrimp is such a well-known product it's almost a generic name. Since the early 1900s, there's been a strong economic link between Petersburg and this small, long-tailed crustacean. There have also been changes in the industry over the years.
There's been times when the shrimp fleet has expanded, 20, 30 boats. There's been times when we caught a lot more shrimp in Southeast than we are right now, and nobody really knows biologically why we're not getting more shrimp. But yeah, there was times I think we took up to 4 to 6 million pounds out of this area, which now we're pretty much capped at 1.5 to 2 million pounds. So the shrimp fleet used to be much larger, and since our company was started in 1916, there's been, I think, 32 other shrimp plants in Southeast Alaska. We're the only one left. We were the first, and we're the only one left now, still producing year-round. My grandfather started it in 1916, incorporated the company in 1926, and he had it till my dad started working with him in the 40s and then 50s. My grandfather passed away in 1955, and my father took over at that point, processed shrimp until he passed away in 1979, and that coincidentally was a year that I had come in and started working with him. So since 1979, it's been me here in the plant.
During the Depression, about 1,500 people lived in Petersburg. 300 of them worked at Alaskan Glacier Seafoods, making the company the town's largest employer. In the early days, the shells were removed by hand, a process that required plenty of people. During peak times, adults and even whole families would spend the day picking.
If you were very fat
fast picker, you could pick at least 50 pounds from 8 in the morning until 12 noon at 15 cents a pound. When we were small children, I mean teenagers, we could come and go as we pleased. You know, you got paid by the pound, and it wasn't hourly work. So the more shrimp you picked, you know, the more money you made. But we were kids, and we used to like to get up and run around and take off, and we weren't real serious about it. We did make show money and, you know, some spending money.
Like the rest of life, processing shrimp changed over the years. A plant that wanted to stay profitable had to automate. Alaskan Glacier Seafoods mechanized in 1976.
There had been machine peeling in the state of Alaska since the 50s, and although we had been the first shrimp company in the state of Alaska, never really caught up with technology, and it worked fine up to that point because the price for shrimp, we were getting paid a premium for hand-peeled shrimp, and quality was desired.
The old system involved canning the shrimp. Today, they're individually quick frozen.
When we finally quit hand peeling, we had about 6 to 8 people, and we were lucky to be able to do 400 pounds of shrimp in a day. And my father actually had the automated peeling equipment in the plant, had at least, was paying for it for about a year, and just hated to give up the old way. But when it finally got to the point we could only do a few hundred pounds, we had to take those people and put them into a more productive system.
The system used to process shrimp in Petersburg is similar to that found in competitors' plants in Oregon and Washington. But while the plant operations are similar, Dave Omer says Petersburg shrimp still has an advantage in color, firmness of flesh, and quality.
We still try to get all of our shrimp off boats the day that it's caught. A very important part of getting good quality shrimp is keeping it extremely fresh and letting it age in a proper time frame. So our boats bring the shrimp in each day, only going out longer than one day when the weather's very cool and the quality of shrimp can be maintained.
We take the shrimp off and layer ice them into these 800-pound totes, and we hold them in the summertime we hold them for 2 days. In the wintertime, when the weather's a little colder, we hold them for 3 days on ice, and the ice melting down through breaks away the membrane that holds the shell and the meat, so the machine picks it out a lot better.
After about 3 days, 2 to 3 days, we'll process the shrimp. We shovel it up into our machinery, which takes that shrimp then and puts it through a cooking process, and then drops it onto the rollers. The rollers go down, rolling back and forth, and pulling the shell away from the meat, and the meat kind of scooches away and slides down the rollers to the bottom. That's the immediate, the major part of the cleaning, and takes probably 70% of the shell, 70 to 80% of the shell off. We want most of it to come off there. Then it goes down through something we call a horse trough, which is rollers rolling back and forth. And if there's heads or major portions of shrimp still on that, it'll roll over the shell, and the same theory, scooch the meat kind of out away from the shell, and the rollers won't roll over the meat to any great degree and lose much shrimp. So that's the final separation, where we separate shell from meat. Then it goes up a conveyor and drops onto something we call a separator, which separates the shell, takes the shell away. And it's rollers that are rolling downward, and it can, with water pressure, sucks the shell down, and we adjust the size of it so that the shrimp will slide down to the bottom and the shell will have been extracted. And then it goes under the hands of a few people looking for any major deficiencies or defects, and they pull out whatever they can at that point, be it coons or big heads or eggs that haven't been removed in the cleaning process. And from there it goes under a blower, which takes the light shell and catches it with the wind that's blowing up underneath it, and extracts a little bit more of it that way. And then it drops into baskets, and we take it in, and the final hand inspection process occurs. After it comes off the cleaning apparatus, people go through and make sure that there's no shell at all left on there. we take the shrimp, chill it down, and put it into a brine solution to enhance the flavor a little bit, and then it goes up into the IQF. IQF is our freezing, individually quick freezing is what it's called, and it produces a product much like the corn that you buy in the supermarket, where each shrimp is frozen individually and not stuck together. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of IQF machines. Ours is a simple two-belt system where we shake the shrimp onto a vibrator, which rolls it onto in a very even layer onto a belt, and it goes into just a freezing box that has got wind being blown up, freezing wind being blown up below it, kind of like a blast freezer, and that wind goes underneath and keeps them kind of popping like popcorn along, so it doesn't stick to the belt or together. The shrimp fall out perfectly frozen, individually frozen, and we put it under a glaze to protect the shrimp from any further freezer burning, and pack it in individual bags. Makes it very, very convenient for people to buy a bag of it and use it in a restaurant or even in their home.
Over the years, Alaskan Glacier Seafoods has changed. There were mergers. They're now a division of Norquest Seafoods Incorporated. There were also devastating fires in 1943 and in 1985. But through the changes, the relationship between Petersburg and shrimp has continued.
Petersburg was the first place in the state of Alaska that processed shrimp. Petersburg shrimp is still advertised all over the state and even in the Northwest as a high quality premium shrimp. And so I think right now, probably more than the economic impact, there's probably some degree of pride in the fact that we still produce the best shrimp, in my opinion, that you can get.
Bike this morning until noon, and then I'll ride bike this afternoon. I'll be in a car until that time, until we trade off.
The Ketchikan Police Mountain Bike Program began in 1990. Officers ride year-round 10 to 50 miles a day in every type of weather except heavy rain and snow. Although they're on bikes, the Ketchikan police chief said these officers do regular police work.
They do traffic enforcement, they make DWI arrests, and the biggest benefit we have with the program is the ability to meet people.
According to the International Police Mountain Bike Association, the number of police getting out of patrol cars and onto mountain bikes is growing. And for the cost of one patrol car, a city can equip a dozen bike police. The group also says police departments all over the country report that bike units cut employee health care costs and boost morale because those who ride bikes on the job are sick less and happier at work.
4629211. I like exercising. It's part of my daily life, getting exercise, and definitely riding bike in this town is getting exercise with the number of hills we have.
But it's more than just the workout that attracts Zamora to bike patrol. It also makes for more efficient police work.
We have a complaint of a male who's standing in front of the Pioneer Hotel on Front Street who's drinking out of an open container. We do not have a description.
10-4, thank you. You were more mobile on the street. There are times during the summer in a patrol car you just weren't able to get to the calls as fast as you like because of traffic and because of the number of tourists downtown. It really kind of slowed you down.
Even when an officer is on foot patrol, you can attempt to make eye contact with the citizens that you're passing by, and many of them, and you can attempt to say, you'll say hello or how are you or those kinds of things, and many people won't even respond to that. But we found that if you're on a bike, everybody is looking at you and everybody will speak to you, and you frequently just stop and talk to people.
How are you today? Oh, your cookies, they look so good.
Yeah, I
I come by and every time I look at them, I get tempted. Well,
buy one sometime.
Maybe if it starts to rain and I get off the bike. See you later.
You have a lot of public contact with kids on the playground, with tourists on the dock. with the tour operators on the dock, with the business folks downtown.
Hi, can we ask you a question? Why are you riding a bicycle?
Oh, it's part of our patrol program. We ride bikes, mountain bikes during the summertime.
These tourists might have come to Southeast Alaska to see wildlife and scenery, but in Ketchikan they met their first police on bikes and wondered if the officers could fight crime without police vehicles.
And if we need assistance or backup, we'll call for a car to come in or transport somebody if we arrest them. But we'll handle it right on the bikes. Yeah.
Has it proven that it's successful? I mean, because you can't have too much crime here.
It's been very successful, and during the evening time, our arrest rates are high for our bike guys.
It's a real good tool for being out there where burglars may be lurking around. I mean, you can hear a car coming at 3 o'clock in the morning from a long way away, but you can't hear a bicycle coming.
This is my patrol bike. It's made by Raleigh. This bike's a police special edition. It's made exclusively for police departments. It's got oversized tubes, heavier forks, stronger rims, heavy-duty brakes. On the back here, you can see it's got what they call a mountain rack, and on top I've got my saddle bag, which can keep a number of items in here: ticket books, rain gear, extra handcuffs, protective eyewear, just about anything we need to store away.
Generally, it's up to each officer what they carry, but primarily they'll carry a can of capstan, a radio, portable radio, handcuffs, obviously a gun, and then different officers carry different add-on types of things: flashlights, rescue knives, extra ammunition, that type of thing. That's kind of up to the personal individual and how much weight he wants to carry.
Depending on the shift, the bike officers' duties change. In the evenings, the emphasis is on drug and alcohol enforcement, building security, and traffic problems. In the daytime, much of the emphasis is on people.
You guys be careful, okay? All right, you got to stay off the dock. Okay, and around here you got to watch out for the pedestrian traffic. Okay, can't let your skateboards get out of hand. Okay, and go shooting out and hitting somebody. Okay, be safe, be careful, watch out for the other person. Otherwise, we might have to kick you guys off the dock, and we don't want to do that.
Probably in the 30s and the 40s, and then much more so in the 50s, with the advent of portable radios and those kinds of things, officers started getting in the cars. And the whole thing, the whole concept of the officer knowing his beat was kind of lost by that, because when you're in a car, you're surrounded by a barrier, and that barrier separates you from the public too. The big thing in policing now in the country is called community policing. What it is primarily is going back to the footbeat.
You keep these guys in order, okay? Tell them to watch out for cars and stay out of the street. You can stick that sticker right there on your shirt. All right? And the next time when I come through tomorrow, you can give me a report in case anybody's not doing what you tell them to do. Okay. You want me to stick that on for you? Can you get it? Here, Dustin, I'll help you. It's got to go on the left side, okay? How's that? Okay, everybody here, hear that. Dustin's in charge until I come back, okay? You guys need to do what he says.
Okay.
All right? Keep them safe. Yeah. Make sure they watch out for cars and get out of the street. Okay, see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
We saw the bike patrol as being a way to have some positive contact with the people that we're here to work for.
This week on Rain Country, we've traveled all over Southeast Alaska for work and for pleasure. And we'll continue our travels next week at the same time, and you're invited to come along for the ride. I'm Scott Foster. Have a good day.
This episode of Rain Country is available on VHS or Beta video cassette. To order a copy, send $19.95 plus $2 for shipping and handling to KTOO Videos, 224 4th Street, Juneau, Alaska, 99801. Credit card orders may call 800-478-3636. Please refer to the episode number when ordering your cassette.
I got me a paper route, I always ride my bike. It's a challenge to go out 30 below, but it's a challenge I like. 30 pounds of clothing, it's a sight to behold. Every morning by 6, getting my kicks and respect for the code. Thinking about that headline with every frosty breath. A stranded car in the wild, 2 old folks and their child wind up freezing to death. You best be careful with winter, don't be careless or bold. Cause in the wink of an eye, you could get hurt, maybe die without respect for the code. Respect for the code. Respect for the code. No comes the fight. Comes the fight. Life any other way. It's what they right. Just not right. Even though every miner won't strike gold. The thing that they all find is respect for the code. When you see me strolling down the street or at the mall, I'll be riding on some happy feet, and that ain't all. Defying Mother Nature as I gracefully grow old. Much better off with respect for the code. Women's shelter, well, it's right on my way. Some parts they got are beat up a lot, change every day. Those women and children don't need to be told. They're throwing real rocks in the school of hard knocks. Respect for the code. Respect for the code. Respect for the code. No comes to fight. Life any other way. It's what they right. Just not right. Even though every miner won't strike gold. The thing that they all find is respect for the code. Respect for the code. Respect for the code. No comes to the fight. Comes to the fight. Life any other way. It's what they right. Just not right. Even though every miner won't strike gold. The thing that they all find is respect for the code. Yeah, the thing that they all find is respect for the code.
Remember the days, remember the dreams, seeing my picture in a music magazine. They all said it would never be true, ain't nothing ever gonna come of you. They were laughing at me, they all said it would never be. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star, but you won't let me play my electric guitar. I've tried everything to make you see, but you don't know what's coming over me. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star. I bought all the records and I wrote a few songs, hoping everybody would try to sing along. Practiced for a couple of years, wrote out some lyrics that pulled down the tears. They were laughing at me, now they're all laughing at me. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star, but you won't let me play my electric guitar. I've tried everything to make you see that you don't know what's coming over me. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star. I remember the days, remember the dreams, seeing my picture in a music magazine. They all said it would never be true, ain't nothing ever gonna come of you. They were laughing at me, they all said it would never be. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star, but you won't let me play my electric guitar. I've tried everything to make you see, but you don't know what's coming over me. You know, I wanna be a rock and roll star. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star, but you won't let me play my electric guitar. I've tried everything to make you see that you don't know what's coming over me. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star. You know, I want to be a rock and roll star. You know, I want to be a rock. I'm going up to Ketchikan, right by the main. I gotta get me a job on the ocean side. Gotta work to eat. I wander week to week. I got my own hard hat and a pack on my back. It's just another town where I guess I wander around. Yeah, find myself a good bar and somewhere to eat. The rain, it drives me crazy. Son, it makes me lazy, yeah. That sweet mountain air don't keep my belly full. They say work's hard to find, but I work mighty fine, and maybe I can get me a job on the ocean side. It's just another town where I guess I wander around, yeah. Find myself a good bar and somewhere to eat. Ketchikan, the sun, the snow, the ocean, that sweet mountain air might keep you there. Going up to Ketchikan, fight by the man, I gotta get me a job on the ocean side. I gotta get me a job on the ocean side. I gotta get me a job on the ocean side. Gotta get me a job on the ocean side. Gotta get me a job on the ocean side. Yeah, now. And then they are, hey, la, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can drive to Alaska from any point in North America via the Alaska Highway, which begins here at Dawson Creek, British Columbia. It's a 2-lane highway, hard surface nearly all the way, and open year-round, providing a comfortable drive through stunning wilderness. Highway services are available about every 50 miles, but you're never alone. The Alaska Highway is well-traveled, and the Canadian Mounties cruise by quite often. Most communities are small, with one exception. Whitehorse, capital of Yukon Territory. A modern city with many fine hotels and restaurants, Whitehorse is a major transportation, medical, and service center for Canada's Northwest. Now, the pacing of your trip is strictly up to you. You can stop anywhere and enjoy the scenery. When the United States entered World War II, strategic considerations prompted the building of this highway to link Alaska, then a territory, with the continental United States, or as Alaskans like to call it, the lower 48. 2 construction units, one from the south, the other from the north, met here at Kluane Lake, and on November 20th, 1942, the Alaska Highway was officially opened. Traveling northwest, things American are more frequent now. That's Mount Kennedy, named after our late president, overlooking both the Yukon and Alaska. A famous American naturalist explained Alaska this way: "No excursion that I know of may be made into any other American wilderness where so marvelous an abundance of noble newborn scenery is so charming and brought to view. Never before had I become so embosomed in scenery so hopefully beyond description." Now, nearly a century later, let's put John Muir's testimonial to the test. Shortly after entering Alaska, the many options for rich experiences begin. You could drive north over the old telegraph roadway pioneered by an American aviator whose name became a household word, Billy Mitchell, or you could drive northwest to Fairbanks. But for starters, let's drive southwest to the city of Valdez. From the Richardson Highway, we get our first look at the 800-mile-long Trans-Alaska oil pipeline, which terminates at Valdez. Floaters are running waters of the Keystone Canyon, accompanied by a sturdy kayaker. At the edge of the city, spawning salmon attract visitors and seagulls. Valdez today is a new city, rebuilt after a tidal wave destroyed the old town during the 1964 Good Friday earthquake. Sometimes known as Little Switzerland, this snug community is the gateway to a rich marine environment, explored both by visitors and residents. Across the bay, the pipeline terminal. Huge tankers haul North Slope crude oil to American ports, helping to fuel our nation. One of the most enjoyable waterways in Alaska is Prince William Sound, located at the upper rim of the Pacific Ocean. Here, nature created a masterpiece, a feasting place for all kinds. Warmed by the Japanese current, this body of water is the year-round habitat for many and a way station for even more. Species of whale pass through here each year. These humpbacks weigh up to 50 tons. Unlike the more wary land animals, the sea creatures of the Sound often make an appearance for the benefit of human watchers and their cameras. Baby seals, always a captivating sight. Is it cold? I bet it is. And porpoises often appear to form a friendly attachment to boats. Bird rookeries dot the rugged shoreline. Sea lions, always sounding grumpy, spend much of their time hauled out on the rocks. But there are exceptions. Saltwater fishing is also a popular activity in the Sound. You'd best start off, though, with a booking agent, such as this one, appropriately named. Halibut fishing tops the list. The Sea Ruby, just one of many charter boats available. Putting out to sea is always a bit of a thrill. Whether you're seeking halibut or salmon, the scenery and the excitement are the same. That's a shark out there. A bald eagle lumbers by. And here's our friendly escort. Who would ever get tired of watching the porpoise? Now to the business of fishing. This was a good place for halibut yesterday, so let's give it a try today. Salmon should be running through these waters. Look at all the company we have. Halibut can weigh hundreds of pounds, and everyone hopes for the big one. Here's something. Uh-oh, an Irish lord. Oh, well, we'll try it again. Ah, here we go. 2 halibut on the same line. And there goes another line. Boy, this is the place, all right. Meanwhile, salmon fishing isn't quite so hot. Ah, here it is. Well, whatever. It sure isn't a salmon. The day's been short on salmon, but it's been long on a rich experience. And back in Valdez, there's the photo opportunity with the one that didn't get away. Another popular activity in Prince William Sound, glacier watching. Stan Stevens operates several boats exploring one of the most fascinating glaciers, the Columbia. Stan maneuvers his Glacier Spirit in ice calved from this, the second largest tidewater glacier in Alaska. To get a better perspective of the dimensions of Columbia Glacier, let's go a few miles south to Growler Island, where Stan operates a camp for his guests. Some there just for a few hours, others for a day or more. Plenty of food in the cook tent. How large is this Columbia Glacier? It covers more than 400 square miles, or an area as large as the city of Los Angeles. Growler Island is rich in nature. A great place to explore the coves and inlets and to wet a line. While here, you help in harvesting shrimp for dinner. Ice, ice everywhere. A fine platform for the frisky land otter, though you wouldn't know that by all the time they spend in the water. Here's a guy who only goes near the water for fish. And speaking of fish, how about these? Yes, indeed, the Sound is a feasting place. If you're really hooked on glaciers, take a ride on Brad Phillips' catamaran, the Klondike, and in one day you'll see 26 glaciers. Wildlife is all over. Sea otters here, their appetite seems never to be satisfied. Killer whales have an appetite too. For a tasty seal? Then a huge iceberg has to be dealt with, and the tip of this one is only about 1/8 of the berg's total size. Smaller chunks harvested to cool your favorite beverage. Truly, Prince William Sound is a special place, with its unique mixture of scenery, wildlife, and natural phenomena, making your trip highly memorable. John Muir could attest to that. North now from Valdez toward the interior. A leisurely drive allows for many stops to marvel at the scenery and nature in action. Flowers are in full bloom. Birds gather food for their newborn. Animals busy fattening up for the coming winter. Here's Santa, North Pole, Alaska. How far have we driven? Well, this is Santa Claus' house, just one of the fun stops on the way to Fairbanks. A military helicopter points the way. Fairbanks is the end of the Alaska Highway, some 1,500 miles from the starting point at Dawson Creek. Rugged gold prospectors founded this city at the turn of the century. The University of Alaska is a world-renowned center of Arctic study and research. History lives again aboard Captain Jim Binkley's riverboat, Discovery. All roads north from Fairbanks lead to the Arctic. We're driving the James Dalton Highway now, named after a pioneer engineer. Built by the oil industry, it's also known as the Pipeline Road. The only bridge in Alaska that spans the Yukon River. A few more miles, we cross the Arctic Circle. Pit stops are few and far between along this road. Coldfoot is one, claiming to be the northernmost truck stop in the world. This is Eskimo country. For the visitor, they display their skills in dancing. The traditional blanket toss. And carving objects of art. The Eskimos are indeed unique people. If you really want to be adventurous, take a flight-seeing journey out over the ice of the Arctic Ocean. Those are bowhead whales migrating to their summer feeding grounds. Unlike other whales, the bowheads never completely leave the ice of the northern hemisphere. Walrus on the move too. The white beluga whales are busy here, keeping their breathing hole free from freezing over. Four species of seals are found in the Arctic. The most common, the ring seal. Favorite food for this guy, Nanook, monarch of the Arctic. His only enemy is man. Where does a polar bear sleep? You guessed it, anywhere he wants to. While on the subject of flying, let's hop south to my neck of the woods, Mount McKinley, the summit of North America at over 20,000 feet in Denali National Park.
McKinley traffic, 19 Victor is just over second shot. We're heading.
I've been flying McKinley and neighboring peaks in the Alaska Range for many, many years, landing sightseers, skiers, and climbers on snow-covered glaciers with my ski-equipped plane. This footage, by the way, was taken by the Anchorage Public Television station for its TV special, The Denali Flyers. Mountain climbers come from all over the world to tackle Mount McKinley, hundreds of them during the summer season, for this mountain is a powerful challenge, and in some ways, more challenging even than Mount Everest. And visitors, flight seers, who take this flight with me, usually out of the village of Talkeetna, call it the highlight of their Alaskan tour. Truly an experience and adventure not to be missed. Although Alaska's road system consists of only a few thousand miles, each mile is quite different, offering a new experience. No, this isn't a merry-go-round for dogs. It's Joe Reddington training his dogs for racing. Every March, a long-distance sled dog race between Anchorage and Nome goes right through here, the community of Knik, which is a way station on the historic Iditarod Trail. Joe Reddington, known as the father of the Iditarod Trail Race, is always a strong competitor in that big race. Now, Alaska has a land area of 586,000 square miles, twice the size of Texas plus Indiana. Its largest city, Anchorage, takes only a small part of that, yet half of the state's 500,000 residents call it home. Anchorage resembles many cities in the lower 48. Visitors come from all over. Captain James Cook, the renowned British explorer, was one of the first. Cook, overlooking the body of water that bears his name, Cook Inlet. Another recent visitor, Miss America, samples a taste of Alaska. Anchorage is big city life, yet only minutes away from Alaskan wilderness. Anchorage, among other things, is a medical center where northern medicine is among the specialties practiced. Restaurants offering cuisine from all corners of the globe dot this community. And you need never worry about a roof over your head. The Hotel Captain Cook is an example of a world-class place to stay. The Clarion, depicting Alaskana in pictures and decor. It can be reached by float plane as well as by auto. The Mush Inn Motel offers not only a comfortable, affordable stay, but a vast array of art representing the rich Russian Orthodox culture still in Alaska. This culture is nearby at the foot of the Chugach Mountains. The Seward Highway hugs the steep flanks of those mountains as we drive along the scenic waters of Turnagain Arm. Onward now to another one of Alaska's playgrounds, the Kenai Peninsula. Seward is another Alaskan port. Here, the Alaska Railroad begins its journey north, terminating finally in Fairbanks. Well, so did the early drivers of dog teams. They started out here, for this was the beginning of the Iditarod Trail. And appropriately, Joe Reddington is here as Grand Marshal for the 4th of July parade. The highlight of the festivities is the annual running of Mount Marathon. Joe starts them off. Then up they go, 3,000 feet to the summit, then back down again, slipping and sliding. Looks exhausting, doesn't it? Believe me, it is. One of the most visited communities on the Kenai is Homer. Like most Alaskan coastal regions, these waters are rich in seafood. Renting a boat for personal use is popular, but the inexperienced fisher person runs the risk of getting skunked. Most visitors wisely sign on with the experts. Halibut charters put to sea daily with the flotilla that stretches clear across Lower Cook Inlet. Lines are set at key spots selected by the guide. This is where experience really pays off. But each day is a little bit different. Thus, waiting is part of the game. Our loners aren't having much luck. Then the halibut hit. You know the old adage, to make hay while the sun shines? Well, it applies to fishing too. Our loners are digging clams at low tide. A good catch. Steamed clams go well at any meal. Especially served with the native food of these visitors from Italy. On board the Stardust, they've lined them up. A good catch for the day. And soon some of this will be dinner. As for our returning loners, well, the gulls get the leftover bait. Back at Central Charters, the booking agency here in Homer, fisher people from other boats proudly display their catch. Our loners are proud too. They had a fun-filled day, exploring the bay on their own, and they're going to dine on seafood at a local restaurant. All part of the joy of traveling in Alaska. Heading west by plane across Cook Inlet leads to still more adventures. Mount Augustine in Lower Cook Inlet is an active volcano. While just a bit north, Mount Iliamna is an inactive volcano. Contrasts that make this state so unique. This is freshwater where a long list of resident fish mix with the returning salmon and the bears and their cadissers. Now let's watch some folks fishing. No one lives in this area, but during the summer and fall, the streams come alive. Sport fishing here requires a wide expanse, lots of elbow room. Boats ferry fisher people from one place to another, and float planes expand the range. At lunchtime, the reward: fish freshly caught, cooked over an open fire. A photo opportunity of a lifetime. The nights grow longer each day now that fall has arrived. Some call this Septober, as there is still much to do. Horse trekking, letting old Dobbin do the walking. Bears pick berries. And sandhill cranes form up for the long journey to Texas and point south. But the year-round residents, they're not going very far. Moose graze while caribou wander, and bears scrounge and scratch. Doll sheep patrol the high country. Ouch! Well, as our journey draws to a close and we look back upon it, we know that John Muir was right about Alaska, and his testimony has been joined since by many. For instance, by Mrs. Lydia Heberling of Highland Falls, New York.
I think the biggest thrill was when we saw McKinley in all its glory. We saw a lot of wildlife, a lot of caribou, and my husband got a picture of the grizzly crossing the road.
And by other visitors.
I think Alaska's great. A lot of fishing, love the people up there, love the lifestyle up there.
Well, what I like about Alaska is the beauty, the wilderness, snow. It seems like a great getaway place.
As an Alaskan who chose to live here, I join our senior senator, Ted Stevens, when he says, "We Alaskans are proud of our state and delight in showing it to others." So when you come north to Alaska, and it's never too late, you'll be welcomed with open arms.